celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life with Sterling Fox on AM 650.
Welcome back to the program. On this episode of Boomer Life, we're talking retirement living with the folks from Shannon Oaks. Jillian Fullerton is with us from Shannon Oaks Baptist Housing in East Vancouver at 2526 Waverly Avenue. Also joining us in studio is Andrea Peterson, whose mom has just moved into Shannon Oaks in the past few months. And we were talking about the process, and it's really good that you're with us today, Andrea, because so many people, this is Boomer Life, and this is happening in the lives of many boomers literally day by day as our senior parents, their lives go on too, and some of us are coming to the discovery that life can't go on as it always has. There are going to be some changes needed. So it's great to have you here and talking about what the process is like. And first and foremost, you began online. You did a really exhaustive first round of information seeking on the internet.
We did. That's certainly where we started.
And there are dozens of seniors communities here in Metro Vancouver.
It can be daunting.
Yeah.
Right? So, information overload at some points, right? But if you have an idea, if you can start and look at it in terms of steps, right? So deciding where you want to live, what sort of areas, and then you can choose, even if it's more than one, you can choose one or two within those areas and sort of isolate them. Well, your list just got a lot shorter, so
right.
It's not as scary. But
when you go online and start doing comparison shopping between various retirement communities, are they forthcoming on the internet with their pricing, or do they want to have that discussion with you in person rather than putting numbers on their webpage?
They would rather have you come in the door and discuss it then.
Okay.
And truthfully, I think there's probably a variety of different costs associated with different types of units.
Sure.
Anyway, so you sort of need to have a better idea of,
There's a range.
What it's a product that you're selling, right?
Yeah.
So you need to know what it is you're wanting to buy before you can try and figure out how much it is.
But all of your searching and all of your homework began, Andrea, because your mom knew that it was time to get going and you said, well, if it is, we better get going then, because there's these wait lists. You just can't walk in the front door and get a place to stay. Sometimes they're going to make you wait for a year or more.
Right. Well, it was the wait list that sort of sparked the conversation. I don't think that my mom necessarily was looking to move right away.
Sure.
Possibly even 12 months down the line. She was aware that she was going to want to do that at some point in the future, but it certainly wasn't now. When it happened, it was more, maybe a year from now. And so then the conversation about the wait list came up, and that's really what got the ball rolling, if you will. Let's do the groundwork now. Let's figure out which types of properties you're interested in living in. Let's take a look at them. Let's go see them. So we did that, narrowed it down to 4, as I'd said. We went and looked at all 4, and then we're sort of focusing more on 2. And then we went in and met with Jillian at Shannon Oaks and got to ask lots and lots of questions. And I will say this, there never was a point where I felt, or I hope my mom felt, that we were asking too many questions. You were so good at answering everything as simple as, where is the cable outlet in the bedroom? Is there a second cable outlet in the bedroom?
Right.
We like to watch TV at night. You know what I mean? In bed. It's something as small as that. Yeah. But as big as that, right?
Sure.
It's what somebody wants and the conveniences of their life that make it enjoyable. So we asked lots of questions. We had a meal there, and it is important. And at a couple of the other locations as well. Do you like the food? Is it a good quality of food? How often do you eat? Is it strict? Do you have to eat a certain time? What I really like about Shannon Oaks is that you can take your breakfast with you up to your suite at night. So when you're having your dinner, you can have your dinner, and then breakfast is already parts of it laid out as well. You can take a little brown bag, you can pack it in, you can take it up to your suite. And if you don't want to come down for breakfast in the morning to the table and at a certain time, you can at your leisure enjoy your breakfast there. We had even anticipated there would probably still be a grocery bill for mom. Well, you'd think that there'd be some sort of grocery bill possibly still when you're looking at the economics of it.
Absolutely.
How much does this all-inclusive retirement living cost, and what value are you getting for that, and what extra bills are you still going to have? And she doesn't have one at all. I mean, a few treats here and there,
well,
right?
yeah,
You want to
but,
have a snack with a movie, but...
And we boomers are certainly well familiar with the phrase all-inclusive. We go on vacations, and we've grown rather fond of the all-inclusive approach. So when we see that applied to retirement living, we understand what that all-inclusive is supposed to mean. But upon doing a little more homework, it's not a level playing field. It's from one community to another. The combination of services provided differs, and quite dramatically in some cases.
Well, that's true.
Definitely. Some places provide you with only 20 meals a month. And that's, so you got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but times 3, that's 90 meals, so you're only getting 20. You're looking at, some will give you a monetary sum to so many meals a month. Some will only provide maybe dinner, and so you have to look at, okay, there is going to be extra costs. There's going to have to making sure mom gets good nutrition.
Is that sort of information available on the website, Jillian, or is that, I mean, it's fantastic information that you're sharing with us. But as I was asking Andrea earlier, is that sort of, well, we only authorize X number of meals per month? And
they wouldn't phrase it like that.
I know that. I know that.
Punch card, actually, that they give you. Yeah.
But you know what I'm driving at here. Are they into that sort of full disclosure mode on their website?
Yes, I think they are, but you would have to have eyes to see it.
Right. This is boomer life, and we're just trying to educate the boomers here, because we're just trying to do the right thing for mom and dad, and we've got to know good questions to ask. And Andrea, you've just been through this.
Yeah. And that's a good one. The meals and how many meals are covered, and if the food is good, eat the meal. Have a meal. And everywhere we went, we were invited to do so.
Good.
So take them up on the offer. It was a really good thing to do.
Did anyone offer you a trial stay?
We were offered a trial stay at one location, at one property, just for the weekend type thing. And it was an interesting idea.
We do that.
I know you do.
We
I know.
offer trial stays. If it's appropriate, if we feel there are cases where a person is just on the edge, they're not sure what to do, they're don't know if they would fit, so we offer them
try
a
it
trial
on for
stay.
size.
Yeah,
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
But in your mom's case, that wasn't an issue, was it? She knew that she was going to move into a community, and it was, by the time you'd narrowed it down to 2. Her homework level was very high.
But we had only narrowed it down to 2 in terms of going onto a wait list.
Oh, okay.
Right? We weren't at a point of being moving
That's
in.
right.
Yeah.
You were just,
we weren't there
You
yet.
were trying to be
That's
well
right.
prepared,
we were still
weren't
a
you?
prospective resident.
Yeah,
Very much
that's right.
so. A
So
potential resident.
if you went into this process expecting anywhere from 12 to 18 months delays,
right.
And, well, your mom already lives there. That's not 12 months ago.
She really liked it.
How did that happen? If you were anticipating a year or more on the sidelines, how did you get bumped up? How did that work?
Well, aside from having the meal and asking lots of questions, we also went and we looked at the different units available. Right?
Okay.
So there's a show suite typically that you can take a look at. And then you can also ask, is there anything available right now? It also gives you another unit or suite to look at to see if something looks over the courtyard or if something looks to the street, that type of thing.
Right.
And when we did that, we came across a suite that was available or coming available. Is that right?
I think it was coming available.
Coming available.
Yeah.
And it was great. You know, she loved it. It offered something that made that suite a little special. It has a balcony. You know, you can open up the door and go onto a balcony. And it's the top floor. It gave a great feeling
huge
of
balcony too.
Big space.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you know, a
Your
smaller
living room
space
becomes-
seemed so much bigger.
Is it a 1 or 2 bedroom?
It's a 1-bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 1-bedroom.
But
so
with a
that's-
nice big balcony.
Yeah.
A big balcony, and there's a window also on a side of the suite that wouldn't normally be there if you had somebody up next to you. So that added more light.
Okay.
So it was brighter.
Wonderful.
Right. So all of those types of things made it a very desirable unit. And that specific unit does not come available at Shannon Oaks very often.
No, does not.
So there is where things started to
So it was
heat
just
up.
a happy coincidence then?
It was a happy coincidence, and it became, do you make a decision even quicker? So mom's thought process had to go a lot faster than she thought it was. So it became waiting list and pass the suite up and wait and see what comes, or are you ready now? And that then ties us into another thought that we had, a conversation that came up about when is the right time to make this move.
Right.
Is the right time in 12 months? Is the right time now? And I think in the end, Mom really felt, and we agreed with her, that it's a really good idea for her, especially when mobility is something that Parkinson's attacks, right? It was a smart idea for her to make a move when she still had mobility and the ability to get involved and to enjoy all the social aspects that we've talked about,
Right.
That was offered there to her. She could form a network of friendships and relationships.
She's a very outgoing person.
She's very outgoing,
Right.
yeah.
She is.
But for anybody, even for somebody who's not like she is, who's a little more reserved or quieter, likes their own space, which well, she has that side too. But for someone who wouldn't take it on the way she has, you would get to know the person downstairs who serves the food. Or
Sure.
you'd get to know the lady who's putting out the breakfast at
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
You would make relationships with people. So when the time came that your mobility is restricted, people would come to you.
Right.
People would come looking for you. Where is so-and-so?
Right, exactly.
Where is she today?
Right.
And you're not, it would have been awful to think that if we had waited and she had gone on her normal timeline that she had planned and something had happened that her mobility was restricted. Hate the idea of her going into even an independent living residence and then being isolated in her room.
Right.
Right in her apartment. Just not being able to get out as much. Now your four walls just got a lot smaller because while the apartments aren't massive compared to where you're probably coming from, right?
Right.
Her 2-bedroom condo, or if somebody's coming even bigger, a house.
Right.
The space that you're occupying is really just where you're choosing to be or you're sleeping. You know, if you want to be by yourself or have people in or something, you can be. But Shannon Oaks is large, and lots of these properties are large, and they offer you living room space downstairs. They
Okay.
offer you a basement. They offer you all of the space that you're used to. It's just not in your small.
A games room, outdoor space,
Right.
gardens, all sorts of things.
Need to take a quick break here, but I want to find out, Jillian, about this whole wait list thing, because it started out in Andrea's case as the priority, knowing that we're likely playing against time here. So let's just start the process. And by the time a year or more rolls around, we'll be really ready to go. And, well, it didn't take but a few weeks.
Sure
But
didn't.
I want to ask about wait lists
Sure.
and how the retirement industry handles those from one community to another.
Yes.
We're talking retirement living with the folks from Shannon Oaks in the person of Jillian Fullerton. And our guest in studio also is Andrea Peterson, whose mom lives at Shannon Oaks. And there's lots more still ahead on Boomer Life. Stay with us.
It's all about the baby boomer lifestyle. Boomer Life on AM 650.